Hello, it's the Inbox Collector here, and today I'm going to be showing you every single one of my Spider-Man Toybiz figures. Not the double sets, not the Spider-Man Vampire Wars, because I just recently did a video on this, but starting things off, we've got Hobgoblin with his glider. How cool is this? Now, some of these I have done reviews on before, Series 1 and 2, this is a Series 1. So I won't spend too long on these, but there is the Hobgoblin. Next, we've got Venom. Check it out. Good old vintage retro Venom. Really cool. A really cool action figure. There is his feature on the back. When you squeeze his legs, his head pops up like that. That is so cool. And his sort of tongue, his mouth opens. Just really cool. There is Venom. Next, we've got Smythe. Now, all of these are Series 1. I really like Smythe. I wish they'd done a Smythe before he got mutated. They never did, but we did get this Smythe, and he has a cool action feature. When you push the lever on his back, he punches both arms. All Toybiz figures, as we know, had gimmicks. Guys, if you're liking this video today, please hit that like, please hit subscribe, and please turn on notifications. Next, we've got Web Racer Spider-Man. This is a really cool Spider-Man, and this one's a very good example. And basically, you pull those two levers like that, and he sort of does this spinny thing. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I never had this one as a kid, if I'm being completely honest. Next, it's Dr. Octavius. He is the most desired, most sought after figure, I think, from this whole Spider-Man Toybiz line, and is definitely one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive. And I haven't priced all these figures up today. There's like a little piece on his back, and you pull and it moves the tentacles in and out. Very cool. Next, we've got another Spider-Man, and this one's Web Shooter Spider-Man, and he comes with a collectible pin, and they are really cool. And there it is on the back. You pull the string to release the web, which is really good. Then you can sort of reload it. So that is a very cool action figure, and definitely one you want to add to your collection if you need it. Next, it's Carnage. This was the first Carnage. I don't have the second Carnage, but this is really cool. He comes with these snap-on weapons. There are several that I don't have, and the ones I don't have, I'll try and pop up pictures of the ones I don't have if I remember whilst doing this video. But yeah, there is Carnage, a really cool action figure. Next, we've got Web Parachute Spider-Man, and I haven't took him out of the plastic bag, and the reason being is I am very lazy. But basically, this is how I store my figures, in plastic bags with silica gels. And it's kind of just a reminder, because if someone's new to my channel, they may not have seen that. It's just a tip on how to look after your figures. So there is Web Parachute Spider-Man, and he also came with a pin. Next, it's Craven. We're getting a movie. How good will it be? Surely it can't be worse than Morbius. Who knows? It probably will be. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But there is Craven from the animated series, and he is able to launch that spear at anything he is hunting down, which is really cool. I just think this is a really cool looking retro action figure. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Next, we get Alien Spider Slayer. Now, this was never featured in the animated TV show. I did find out that they made this because Aliens, the movie, was popular, and they thought, oh, we'll just pop an alien in, since aliens are really popular at the moment. And if you look, you can kind of see where they've not copied it, but they kind of have copied the design of an alien because it was so popular, so they added it into the mix. So a pretty cool figure, and a bit of toy history there as to how he came about. He kind of does have an alien sort of look to him. Next, we get Peter Parker, and I think this is a great action figure. He comes with a really cool Dr. Octopus pin and his camera. And there he is in that clothes that he never really changed. I think he wore a tuxedo once in the animated series. If not, he was always in his brown jacket. So that's kind of cool because he's instantly recognizable, and it's a very cool figure. Next, we've got Doc Connors, the Lizard. He came with a variant, which was one with a black shirt as well, and one with a red shirt. I don't remember off the top of my head which one's rarer, if either are rare. I think possibly the black one could be the rarer one. I'm really not sure. I'm only saying that because I don't have a black shirted one myself. So I guess depending on which one you have will be how you see which one's rarer. Next we've got the Vulture, and this one I see up quite regularly actually, and he goes for around the £30 mark. If you're in the UK, you can usually pick him up. He of course is Adrian Toomes, and he sucks the life out of people. He comes with that little gun there. It's a pretty cool character, and he was definitely in the animated series on a couple of occasions. So yeah, a nice action figure. And I'm guessing we're going through, these would be like, I think these are like series 2, the second part to series 2 if you like. Next it's Kingpin. Well, he needs no introduction. Wilson Fisk, the man behind all the crime in New York. This is a very hefty figure, very retro looking, definitely resembles the animation. That sticker there is because it's like a Japanese imported one, and there's a Japanese sticker on the back. But if you push the button, he's able to toss Spider-Man or whoever he's decided to get angry with across the room, of course, because he is super strong. Next we've got Scorpion. This just screams retro. It's a really nice, those greens against that purple just pops. I really like this figure. This is a really cool figure. Of course it's 90s articulation for all of these as well. The only one that had really good articulation was the multi-jointed Spider-Man, and I don't have that. This one has like you twist the tail and then it'll do like a twisting whip action, so that's pretty cool. And there's a write-up on the back of Scorpion which I'll show you guys, because I don't think I've ever reviewed Scorpion, I can't remember. Just pause it and read that if you want to, of course. Next we've got the Green Goblin with his glider, and it's a different colour, the glider. Instead of purple, he comes with a pumpkin bomb, but instead of purple they gave him this kind of turquoisey colour, which I don't really get why they did that, because I'm pretty sure in the animated series it was purple. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was. But for some reason they did it in a different colour, but it's definitely purple. I'm sure it's purple. There's a write up there guys if you want to read it. There is the Green Goblin. He's quite a difficult one to get hold of, to be honest. Took me a while, but there he is. Next we get Rhino. I'd say this one's quite common. I see this one quite regularly. A very basic Rhino, but at the time it was absolutely awesome. And if you look in the background there on the shelf, you'll see my Rhino to the left. This one had a ramming action where you'd pull the button down and his head would ram forward. Very cool artwork, and was a big part. He was in the Sinister Six, a big part of the animated series. Next we've got Super Web Shield Spider-Man. Now this one I remember from the Madam Web storyline, where they had all the different Spider-Men. So this kind of, to me, is where the first Spider-Verse came from. Anything I know of Spider-Verse before it made popular by all the Miles Morales movies. There's his gimmick on the back. A really cool action figure, and he comes with of course a pin as well, which is of the Scorpion, which is strange, but that's what they gave him. Still, it's cool. It's cool to have a pin. It's cool to have a different Spider-Man. They were doing this way back then, Toybiz, and I think this is a really good one to add to your collection if you need it. Next we've got Shocker. Shocker is absolutely awesome. Of course this one and many of these are being made by Hasbro now. They make them a lot larger, a lot more detailed, but this one is really cool because these have got that retro looking feel. They're not having to imitate it, they are it. They are retro, they are vintage, they are 20 plus years old now. Some of these from around 95, 96, 94 even, so they are very old figures. There's the write-up guys if you want to pause and read that. But there's Shocker, and he fires out these shock blasts, which is really cool. This one is the Spider-Man in the black costume, but it's on a European card. I actually got this one imported from France. Comes with a web and a cool pin. So yeah, the card is different, and these were always released like a year later. He does that cool thing where you sort of pull the outside from inside his chest and the bottom, and then it's as if you let go of the bottom and it's as if he's making his way up the line. So it's a cool gimmick. Next we've got Nick Fury from the Howling Commandos was his comic, but this is the Nick Fury from the animated series before obviously Samuel L. Jackson played Nick Fury. This is a really cool figure. He comes with this really cool set of arsenal sort of weapons, different guns, a really nice shield pin. Just a really cool figure, really nice artwork. All of these have got really nice artwork. How long till Hasbro make this one? Probably never. So this is a very cool figure. And we can see on the back, we attach those bits to his legs and he fires missiles off. It's just absolutely awesome. A great figure. Next, we've got Venom 2, which is Eddie Brock, as we can see here. Comes with a really cool pin, a larger sort of body size than the other Venom. And he comes with this cool headpiece, so you can sort of change him from Venom, and that cool chest piece as well. So we can change him from Venom to Eddie Brock, which is awesome. If you're a kid and you had these, that would have been really good. I never had that one as a kid, so it's nice to have it as an adult collector. And there's some really cool right up there on him, and that artwork on the back is really good as well. It shows how that just actually pops over the top of his head, so it's different to how the Charmeleon one sort of operates, because the Charmeleon one, similar to Morph, you take the heads on and off. This one actually pops over the top. I wonder how long that would last before it starts to become loose. Next, we've got Charmeleon. Charmeleon is really cool. I'm saying Charmeleon, it's Carmeleon. I always put an R in it and I get told off by the wife for that. Yes, he can change into any identity, and they give him Venom, Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson. And the only one J. Jonah Jameson I can remember was on that Monster Mayhem set that I showed you last week with the or a few weeks back. I can't remember when I did that video, but it was the one with the Monster Mayhem set, because that's where we got our first J. Jonah Jameson, and possibly the only time we got J. Jonah Jameson. So there's Carmeleon, really cool. Next, we've got Mysterio. Mysterio is absolutely amazing. Throws out cubes to create special effects. This one comes with mist squirting action. There's like a cool pin, and then there's the cool plunger that you obviously fill with water, and it squirts the mist out of the chest. I'll show you guys on the back. A very cool gimmick. I love all the little Toybiz gimmicks. They were part of what made these toys so great. So there he is, Mysterio. A very nice retro action figure, if I do say so myself. Again, articulation not the best, but hey, it's the 90s and kids didn't care. Next, we've got battle ravaged Spider-Man, who's been in the battles there. He comes with this cool backpack that you can store things inside. It comes with a nice collector's pin as well. If we look on the back there, basically there is a write up on battle ravaged Spider-Man. It's very cool. And if we squeeze the backpack, we can put that little camera that he comes with into the backpack and stick it on the wall, similar to how he does it in the video games, where you go searching for those backpacks and he finds his bits and pieces. And there is the very small, probably the smallest camera accessory I've ever seen, but there is nevertheless a camera, so that's pretty cool. It's even got, it looks like a bit of octopus tentacle there. Next, we've got Prowler. Prowler with extending claws. He was in the animated series. He also comes with what looks like a Spider-Man tracker of some sort. It's like they've thrown that in as an extra. That's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely a Spider-Man tracker. And we can see on the back those extending claws. Not even sure if he could do anything with that Spider-Man tracker, but nevertheless, we got it. There's a write-up on him, and I'm just going to point out, I don't have that Spider-Man web glider. That's one I don't have, and this one's eluded me. I almost won it the other week, but it just went far too much. It was really expensive, so I lost out on the multi-jointed Spider-Man. I have one loose, but I don't have one in box like I'm showing you here. Next, we've got the Punisher. Yes, this is a great Punisher. A really cool looking Punisher. Lots of guns, lots of weapons, and I love the pin. It's probably my favourite pin that comes with any of these figures. Some really nice artwork on the top of the box. Just looks absolutely amazing. And he comes with all these accessories, including that headset there, that little knife, the gun, the sort of projectile launcher, and there's a write-up on him as well, which is really cool. And he basically is like an anti-superhero, as we all know, just really cool. And he's really cool in the cartoon. I don't have Venom Assault Racer. I do not have the Spider-Man Wheel Psycho, sadly. So I'm just showing you that on the back of the box because I don't have them. Next, we've got Morbius. Of course, the movie was terrible, but in the animated series, he had a really good storyline. He comes with a bat-like creature and is just absolutely amazing. There is a nice Morbius pin with him as well. If we look on the back, there he is, Morbius. And if you squeeze his legs together, he does this cool thing. Now, I don't have that Spider-Man wall crawling action, but I do have him in the Scarecrow set. So I'll probably do another video. And I don't have the 6th arm Spider-Man, but I do have him in the Monster Mayhem set. So I would like him on single card, but if you squeeze his legs, look, he'll flick back to Michael, without the vampire look, which is really cool. And there's a nice write-up there on Dr. Michael Morbius. Next, it's a KB exclusive. Not sure how many exclusives they've done. This is one that I know of and that I tracked down and got. This is the Web Trap Spider-Man, which comes with this exclusive sort of more accessories than anything. I don't think the Spider-Man himself is exclusive. He's the same Spider-Man that we get from Series 1, but he comes with this cool sort of trap or web trap, and it's just something different, so definitely worth grabbing and picking up if you can find him. I think a very nice figure. Probably not many of these over here in the UK, unless other collectors of course have imported them. I'm sure some have. Next, we've got Tombstone. Tombstone comes with a really cool pin as well. Looks amazing. Comes with what looks like a gun and these 2 giant metal punching hands because he does a double punch action. Don't remember or recall him having any of that in the animated series, but nevertheless it's very cool that we got it. If I turn over, I do not have any of these other figures from this series of figures. So I have Man Spider in the Monster Mayhem set, but I don't have the Carnage. I believe that's the second Carnage there possibly. But there you go, there is the snap-on fists. So there are a few for me to collect yet, which may never happen because these can be very difficult to track down and very expensive, and most of them are in the United States. And the problem with that is the import charges and stuff just price me out now. But yeah, I'm happy I've got Tombstone. He's really cool. That double punch action. Next we get Rhino with Rhino armor and some really cool weapons. This is part of the a really cool set of action figures, like armored ones and stuff. They did a Dr. Octopus as well. And some of these accessories I'm pretty sure are from another Toybiz figure, but I can't think off the top of my head which one. It's the same Rhino look with the same gimmick where you've got like his head sort of bashing in, but it just comes with all this extra armor. I'll show you a picture of that Doc Ock as well. Next we get Stealth Venom. There were 2 of these. This is the black version. There was also a see-through version, and if I can find a picture of it I will upload that so you guys can see that too. So there was a variant to this one. This is also part of those collector edition ones, so a very cool figure. I think there was 4 in the collector's editions. I may be wrong, but 4 and maybe 5 if you count that variant Venom. But yeah, there's a write-up on the Stealth Venom. He's got those snap-on sort of alien arms, which is very cool. His they were the same ones they used in the Dormammu figure, which I remember showing you guys quite some time ago, where they sort of built that Dormammu figure out of all different figures and different bits, which Toybiz were well known for doing. So they would just take accessories from another figure and so on and so forth. Next we get Spider-Woman. This one is very common. I see it all the time. It may be a special collectors series, but it's always coming up. I always see it regularly. Anywhere from between 15 and 30 pounds. I see it all the time. Still, if you haven't got it, it's a nice one to add to your collection. And you'll notice with these, it only ever shows you those other figures. It never shows you the other ones that you could get in the special collector's edition, which is a pain when I was trying to find out which ones there were and which ones I needed. But I do think she was meant to be a part of an Iron Man wave that got deleted. Next, we've got Spider-Man 2099, who is very popular at the moment. This is a great action figure from Toybiz, part of that special collector's series. I actually got this one imported from over New York many years ago. A very nice figure, comes with that super cool flaming weapon, which is probably borrowed from another Toybiz figure, no doubt. But yeah, absolutely awesome. Nice to have it. I mean, he's obviously all over the Spider-Man universe now, thanks to the latest Miles Morales movie. So I'm glad I've got this one. A very cool figure. Very nice. Not sure about that gun. I like the cape. The cape's cool. Just a really cool figure that I don't see many of. And maybe some of you guys don't even know that Toybiz made this figure, to be fair. Because I'd imagine a lot of people don't, unless they really look into these things. Then even I'm finding new things out about these figures all the time. Next, we've got the Techno Wars. Now this is and was meant to be, if you look carefully, a Iron Man figure, but that final series of Iron Man figures they deleted. I had pictures and references to all this sort of stuff, but I can't find it. But this was definitely meant to be an Iron Man figure. It's got the similar style where you snap on the Iron Man sort of armor like we've seen with the Iron Man figures by Toybiz, but they decided to scrap the line and then they made it into the Vault's Guardsman instead, which is how we ended up with this. And if we look on the back, we can see those figures that I'm saying were really hard to find and to discard, work out which ones we needed. It doesn't actually show you the octopus on there. There is a write up there if you want to pause and read it, guys. But yeah, there's the Vault's Guardsman. Clearly an Iron Man figure, but they changed it. Next, we've got another figure that was meant to be an Iron Man figure, but they stuck Spider-Man's head on it instead. Yep, this was from a deleted Iron Man line, but they decided to carry on using, because they must have gone so far into production, essentially. But this is radioactive spider armor Iron Man. Nothing to do with the animated series, none of this. But basically they were using it to make some figures, because obviously they had them made already. And there is all this snap-on equipment like you'd have with an Iron Man figure. So, I did see pictures and stuff of what they were meant to look like before they got altered to be made into this. But honestly, I can't find them anywhere. But yeah, radioactive Spider-Man armor. And you can do the read up there if you want to pause and read it, guys. By all means do. It's just unusual. I guess they had to do something with them, and this is what they decided to do. Next, we've got the Doppelganger Living Alien Spider Wars. This is an absolute amazing figure. A really cool retro figure, difficult to get. It's got its own pin, that really cool Venus fly trap that he comes with. And he has a cool feature as well. Look at that, it's really detailed. This was a really good figure, and it's nice to have this strange sort of Spider-Man. Well, he's not Spider-Man, this doppelganger of Spider-Man. And there it is, it does that Exorcist style walk when you sort of mess around with him, which is really creepy. And there's the write-up, guys, if you want to pause and read that. It's just a really cool figure. I hope you'll agree. Let me know in the comments what you think. But yeah, Doppelganger is really good. Next, we've got Black Cat, of course, Alicia. She turns into the Black Cat in the animated series. She's got a suitcase full of swag, loads of gold, and she comes with this cool crossbow. Hasbro have redone her in the retro style. She is one of the ones that they did very early on. Really nice artwork. A big part of the animated series. And just a cool figure to have. There is Black Cat. There's the write-up on Alicia Hardy. That's it, Alicia Hardy. I was trying to think of her surname. But there it is. She comes with a crossbow. There's the write-up, guys, if you want to pause and read. Next, we've got, needs no introductions, Doctor Strange, Master of the Mystic Arts. This was the first ever Toybiz figure. Well, a lot of these are the first ever Toybiz figures. Black Cat was the first ever Toybiz, and Tombstone as well. But yeah, he comes with this cool sort of like creature inside a tank, and a nice pin, and a really cool cape that's made out of rubber. I had this one as a kid. It's just a really good figure. If we look on the back, there it is. You can sort of stand him up and have the cape balancing, and his legs will be above it to give the illusion that he's floating, I guess. One of my favourite characters in the Marvel Universe is Doctor Strange. I do remember him from the animated series as well, and it was the first time I ever found out who he was as a kid, who Doctor Strange was. I found out this first time I saw many of these characters and found out who they were as a kid. Next we've got Hydro Man. Really cool, lots of like accessories, and he squirts water, of course, and he's got a cool sort of translucent pin, which is different to all the other pins, and I like that as a nice touch. And something I discovered is his legs don't have to stay in that sort of water shape, that you can take the figure out. But there he is. On the back it'll show you that he squirts water and all the rest of it. One of the main villains, had a good storyline in the animated series, because the animated series ran for quite a few episodes as well, if you remember. I don't know off the top of my head how many, but yeah, a great action figure. Of all these action figures, I don't have the Cyborg Spider-Man, but I do have him in a double pack, and I'm going to do another video on my double packs later on. I've just kept this to the single packs and some of the vehicles and stuff that will be coming up in a minute. But yeah, and also that looks similar to the Monster Armor Sinister weaponry that he had, but he had the like samurai style mask to go over the top, but it's something they've obviously altered. But yeah, there is Hydro Man, a very cool figure. Next we've got the Scorpion Spider Slayer. Now this isn't the triple deck one, this is a single Spider Slayer which fires a missile, comes with an exclusive Spider-Man. How exclusive it is, I don't know. I think it's just the colouring they used. But there it is, in all its glory, in the box. Scorpion Spider Slayer, a very cool toy to have. And on the back, we can see some of the other figures. I'll bring it closer. Look at those X-Men light-up weapons. I've only got a few of those. They're very difficult to find nowadays. And, of course, the Venom action figure deluxe edition. They are amazing, and also very expensive to get. But yeah, I love looking at boxes and looking at all the sort of leaflets you could get of all the figures. Your mum and dad would have been bankrupt had they have bought every single thing, even back in the day, because none of it was really all that cheap even back then. Next we've got Smythe's Battle Chair. This is really cool. Fires missiles, can pinch and grab hold of Spider-Man, and it's just a really unique attack vehicle. Again, I would have loved to have seen Smythe before he got turned and mutated, and have him in his wheelchair and that. This looks so cool when you look at everything on the back. You've got that first series of figures there. So this is a really cool vehicle to have. Definitely difficult to find now and quite scarce. Got some cool features like an ejector seat. Look how it's grabbing all the Spidey there. Just really good. It's weird because you say from the new animated series, and I always just call it animated Spider-Man now, because it's the best animated Spider-Man. Like the X-Men animated series was the best X-Men animated series we ever got. Next, it's the Hobgoblin's glider, but a much larger one that you could hold with a handle in your hand, and it would fire off the pumpkin discs, drop pumpkin bombs. Just a really cool bit of kit, and you could stick the Hobgoblin's glider with the Hobgoblin on and just slide him in on it. But it never came with the Hobgoblin himself, which I think was a shame. They should have added him in really, but back then they never did. So figures not included as always. Toybiz often did include batteries, but later on in life they stopped including batteries as well. Yeah, a great toy. Scarce, definitely. Definitely adds to your collection. Last but not least, and there's no way I'll ever put this thing together, but this is the Spider-Man Daily Bugle set, play set. This thing is absolutely huge. It's made of plastic and card, and there are other YouTubers that have done reviews where they've set all this up. It takes ages to set up. It's very temperamental, but you've got the slime and you've got a working buzzsaw, and you've got like a rope for Spidey to swing on and all that sort of stuff. Just a fantastic set to go with all these really cool action figures, and I know some people use it as a diorama for their figures and stuff. Just really cool. There's just so much you can do with it. It's just a really good play set. Guys, if you've looked at this video today, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe. Let me know in the comments, do you have any of these? Are you searching for any of these? As I show you this wonderful artwork and all the fun you could have with this giant Spider-Man Daily Bugle set, which is really cool. They did do a Kingpin, sort of the top half of his building as well, which came later on. It's not displayed on this box, but I don't have that either. There's all the figures on the back. This is absolutely amazing. This is 90s pure gold. There's the triple Tri-Spider Slayer, which I don't have. There's the Hobgoblin. There's Smythe. Spidey's right up against it, and I absolutely love this. Look at that Venom outfit. That is amazing. Like, most of the time when you see kids dress up as Spider-Man, but to see Venom, they actually did a Venom one. That is absolutely awesome. That is so cool. We've got the giant Spider-Man teddy. Spider-Man was absolutely huge back in the 90s. We've got talking ones. Don't have either of them either. But it was so big back in the day, and it's nice to see that it's still very big and still very popular even to this day. These figures will always have their place in time, will always, I think, be collectible and be popular, because there's just so much. Everyone loves Spider-Man. How can you not love Spider-Man? Guys, that's all I've got time for today. That's all of my collection of these type of Spider-Man. Until next time, good luck searching for that toy go.